What's going on, Juco?
It's Friday, and we are back with another day with New Level Traders, man. I'm excited for today. How y'all feel about today? We had a killer day on yesterday. I mean, we're replaying the video. So, what we got for today? Should we just go ahead and tap into the markets to see what we have? I think we should. Let's go ahead and tap into the markets to see what we have. Man, we got a lot of information ending on this Friday right here. And I'm excited. So let's go ahead and get this shared out for today. All right, boom. We got that shared out for today. And the only other thing that we have to do is get ourselves, set within our particular mood and our way of how we do things. So let's go ahead and move to the charts. And the market right now, this is going to be interesting on what we have today. Really interesting on what we have for today here. We see yesterday's trade. That was a beauty, right? So we're taking a look at today and what we have and what's going on today. I'm trying to formulate a particular bias here. And I asked this question yesterday to a fellow streamer, but they have yet to respond to the question that I asked. And I'm going to share a little bit of that with you all on today to be able to give you a little bit of insight as to what it is that I have been working on behind the scenes, right? We have about 25 minutes until the market opens. And so we got our nice little vibe going. So here's our overall perspective on what we need to be paying attention to that I feel as though is very, very, very important. We do have our iced coffee on this morning. So you already know we set and ready to go, right? So here it is. This is important for us because I want us to be able to start paying attention to these things right here in general, because it's this information here that is going to help propel us and take us to another level. So being able to understand these things here within the market is very, very, very good for you if you are a person who has no idea as to where to start at all when it comes to trading. I said you might want to pay attention to this if you're a person who has no idea on where to start when it comes to trading. Just being able to understand macroeconomics will be able to propel you into higher heights outside of just looking at the chart. So let's pay attention to these numbers here. Look at inflation PCE real quick. Look at where we were in 2020, right? With inflation, 2021, 2022, like kind of like after everything settled down within COVID. And then the next following year after that, look at what happened. We see inflation went up to what, about 6.7% at its highest peak. Look at where we are now. We're at 4.1%. Once all this is over, say for instance next year with Kevin Washer being here and we get all these cuts, do you think inflation is going to continue to rise? After everything of what has happened within the year of 2025, 2026? Do it continue to rise? I don't know. It's something that we'll have to see and pay attention to, but I want to keep my eye on that. Look at unemployment flatlining. We like to see unemployment just like this. We noticed that in COVID, hey, 13.2%. We're flatlining here at 4.2%. We're coasting. We're good, right? So what's the overall macro perspective as to what we're going to be paying attention to? And if you don't have the newsletter, I highly encourage you to get your New Level newsletter. Matter of fact, we're going to post it in the chat. I will post the link in the chat for you so that you could be able to get that newsletter, because it's important for you to have. And if you don't have it, and you want the newsletter, first put in the chat that you do want the newsletter. Say, Jeremy, I want the newsletter. We'll post the link of the newsletter in the chat for you. But if you don't want the newsletter and you're trading, I highly encourage you to get it, because this here is going to change your whole perspective in the game. It's going to have you light years ahead of other traders when it's time for you to trade. And that's the beauty of this part here. So I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna go ahead and post that link for you all, because I know for those who will be coming in late into the stream, we want to go ahead and be able to post this. So let me grab this link here. We have to do is pin it. All right, so the macro newsletter is pinned in the chat. For those of you who do want it, you can go ahead and sign up. So here's what we have going on. The core narrative, right? Equity index futures, ES and NQ are reacting aggressively to structural liquidity boundaries. While the long-term trend remains structurally bullish, short-term premium prices are highly vulnerable to sharp corrections as high energy prices threaten to delay any anticipated central bank rate cuts deep into the next year. So we already know where our central bank policies stand, right? The target range remains anchored at 3.5% to 3.75%, and the immediate path towards monetary easing has hit a brick wall. We have CPI coming up next week. This is a very important news day right here is CPI. So that's Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. So if you are a trader who likes to trade CPI, hey, 8:30 on Tuesday, you need to be locked and loaded and ready to go. Our next news of what we have is Wednesday. We have PPI, Producer Price Index. That'll be coming out on Wednesday at 8:30. And then July 15th, we have crude oil inventories. Now, which one of these are going to shake up the market the most? In your opinion, which one do you feel is going to shake up the market the most? I'm telling you, it's going to be CPI. So let's take a look at the technical framework and order flow matrix of the S&P 500 ES. This is what we love to trade right here. Market structure, bullish time frame structure, but currently showing distinct signs of internal order flow distribution. Heavy profit taking across broader sectors is keeping the broader index cap. Watch for raid on recent swing highs to engineer liquidity before a potential deeper retracement into discount arrays. If the index fails to hold its rising weekly trend line, the immediate draw on liquidity will shift towards the major daily fair value gaps resting below. For the Nasdaq, the PHLX Semiconductor Index, SOX, has recently seen sharp multi-day pullbacks signaling tech heavy profit taking. NQ is exhibiting heavy premium prices and relative weakness compared to historical monthly averages. Monitor old weekly highs for classic turtle soup setups, liquidity sweeps followed by structural displacement. Should geopolitical headlines worsen, the downside draw on liquidity will point heavily towards unmitigated discount order blocks. And for crude oil, aggressively bullish expansion phase driven by severe geopolitical supply imbalances, with oil trading firmly north of the baseline and tanker traffic through the key shipping straits significantly choked down. Pullbacks to eternal daily bullish fair value gaps are highly likely to find strong institutional buying pressure. And let's go ahead and take a look at crude oil while we're sitting here. And so far within the intraday, you see where we are right now. I would say on yesterday we had a high of 74, and now it done put itself back to about 72.03. If we were to move to and take a look at M&Q this morning, we see where M&Q is at. Had a high of 29,993 and now trading at 29,807 this morning. And MES, well, ES, as you know, is obviously bullish. If we drop down to the 5-minute, you'll see this is our pretty much reaction off of this gap that's here so far this morning. Right? So that's what we're seeing right now currently. So here's my thing. Let's go ahead and tap into it while we have about 15 minutes until the market opens. Here's something of what I'm looking at. I'm gonna go back to the 15-minute, right? Y'all know my particular range of what we did on yesterday. If you go back to yesterday, you see our range here. And we was able to formulate a bias here. I think we're getting the opposite today. And I'm going to show you why. I think we're getting the opposite today. So if we go here to here, we're getting, if you look at this, I want to do something real quick. Look, I just flipped the scales just for a second. This was yesterday, right? Just look, just follow me. This was yesterday. Right? Now I'm going to go back, which was the opposite, right? So if I go back, you see that? Now look, this is just, I'm not saying anything at all, period. This is just something that I want you to take a look at. Could this be today? Look. Could the algorithm give us this today? It's something to keep your eye on for sure. And this is what's determining my bias. Jeremy, how is this determining your bias? If you haven't been paying attention to what I've been debating about on the past few days, you won't understand it. And it's something that you're just going to have to go back and take a look at yesterday's live to be able to get a really good understanding. And if you want to be able to, if you don't want to watch that entire live, just go back and look at the video of what we posted yesterday of how we was able to make that 1200 on yesterday. Just go back and look at that video on yesterday, and you will be able to hear me explain it and talk about it in that video. So could that be the possibility? I mean, hey, we're sitting here at premium at buy side. We are sitting here around liquidity. We just had a sweep right here of liquidity. Buy side liquidity that was here, right? We swept it yesterday. We swept it again today, this morning, around 8 o'clock, 8:15. We swept it again. And it just helps formulate that opinion. Now, let's take a look at this. Here's something that's going to be major too as well that we haven't talked too much about. And look at the recovery. Those of you who follow me on Twitter, I posted last night on Twitter, I talked about the dollar falling, right? And I was like, wow, man, if you know anything about the dollar, we're going to look at it on the 1 hour. I posted this last night. I was like, the dollar has just lost a significant line of support. But look at the rally that it had. It didn't even come to previous week low. Look at the rally that it had to bring itself back towards this support area that's right here above previous day low. Is that, I mean, was that not bullish right there? So if the dollar is going to be bullish on today, what does that tell you? If you have been with us, what does that tell you? It just helps give that perspective of our potential bias, and it makes us feel just a little bit more, correct with what we're seeing with our eyes. All we have to do is be patient and allow the setup to play itself out, and we could be definitely rewarded from it. So that's something that I'm just going to keep my eye on. I showed you that particular range for a reason. We dropped back down to the 15-minute. I showed you that particular range for a reason. And it's important when you see this and you see that we're trading back up. But I think if I drop down to the 5-minute, I may be able to show it to you a lot more clear. Right? That's what we want to see. This is exactly what we want to see. We just have to be patient and wait for it. And the only reason why, I mean, it's very clear. Nothing happened in Asia at all. London just basically pulled itself back to where we were on yesterday. Once we were able to hit and target previous week high. That's basically what happened in London. But it took till 7 a.m. for that to happen. So nothing of true significance has happened as of yet. I'm sorry. So we want to just be a little bit mindful and have good understanding of overall where we are, and price should be able to deliver on what we're asking for. And we like to call this market maker sell model, in my opinion. So let's go back real quick. Because most people will try to tell you, oh, none of this stuff, really truly ties in. I just trade what's on the charts, da 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 da. But what if you were able to have an edge, right? When you're able to have an edge, it changes the game. It changes the game in its entirety. So I don't see any other news outside of what we just saw. But we have that grand idea. So we could go right back and finish the playbook. Prioritize capital preservation with major CPI. We told you what was the most important day next week of what's to come. CPI data. So that means that the market could find itself dumping on today. Looming next week, an active geopolitical headline dropping unpredictably. I'm sorry, y'all. The risk of slippage and sudden gap risk is highly elevated. Do not chase the middle of trading ranges. Look for clear high time frame liquidity sweeps at key session highs or lows, followed by crisp market structure shift on lower execution time frames. So we already want clean setups. And what are we getting? We're getting a sweep of previous week high, right? We're gonna get a sweep right there, and I'm looking for the next draw on liquidity. Where would the market pull itself to for that next draw on liquidity? Or do we just find a balance in structure? And if we find a balance on the intraday, our equilibrium is here at 75.30. So for our full distributed move. Coming back here, look at what we have here as targets. Look at that liquidity that's resting here. Right there. So for me, this is target point for me today. I'm not so keen on us continuing higher to previous month high. I'm not so keen on that. Not at all. So we have about 4 minutes until the market opens. What are you trading on today? What are your trade ideas for today? Also, while we're sitting here, we gotta hit our book of the day, which is The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. How many of you have read this book so far? The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Great book. This is a great book. And if you haven't read this book, I highly encourage you to read it, especially if you're a trader. If you are a trader and an investor, long-term investor, you having this book puts you in a different class. Look at the rejection that we just got there again at previous week high. I think shorts come in real fast this morning. That's what it feels like at market open. But if you are an investor, long term, I used to read this book to my TikTokers last year on TikTok Live. And I would read them certain passages out of this book that will be able to help them. Because if you're able to understand day trading, right? And you get day trading down pat, your long-term investing will be second to none, because you already see the moves that happens within the day. It makes it easier for you to be able to formulate a bias if we were to go out on a weekly chart, or if we were on a monthly chart and you were trying to put it all together based upon what you see on the monthly chart. Well, a lot of these moves you see already throughout the day in a faster pace. So imagine you doing it and you're doing your setups for long term. It just makes it all the more easier. But when you have a truer understanding of things, right? What we always talk about, whoever has the best data wins in the game. This is a piece of that data. And you want to be able to get that. Okay? So we have about 20 seconds until the market opens. Let us get prepared. Those of you who are tuning in, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because we here every Monday through Friday trading. The market is now open. So let's see what we get. Do we continue on a little bit higher for that manipulated move? Before we start drawing lower, we just had a break of structure right here. We're just going to be patient. If I drop down to the 2 minute, you'll be able to see us kind of trading within this. Oh, let me remove this and go trend. You'll kind of see us trading within this here. Let's pull a shorter block. So we see the market with a nice push to the upside. We don't want to engage yet at all, period. So we're still patient. We're not FOMOing into anything. But I told you all, my bias is bearish today. But hey, I may be, I may be wrong, but I want to look for shorts today. And I think we can, maybe perhaps get that. Something that we'll see, keep our eye on. If we break below this level here, best believe I'm looking for shorts. Did you all see Meta this morning? In the pre-market, Meta went crazy. Let's take a look at Meta real quick. Look at Meta. Look at that gap on Meta. Whoever took calls on Meta, I mean, congratulations, you're making bank. Meta is going insane on today. Like, did Meta have like some type of news? What was it with Meta that had Meta taking off the way that it did? I'm not sure, but whatever it was that had Meta taking off the way that it did was insane. So market is showing itself a little bit strong on this morning with this continuing push. We just not gonna FOMO into this though. I already said that I felt like we were going to get this. That's what I'm waiting on. So we're hoping that the market delivers on today for us, but we're just going to be patient, man. If we don't get the trade of what we're looking for and what we want, then that's okay. It's fine. We walk away from it and we're in profit. We're profitable for the week, right? This is a great week right here. We were able to secure more accounts and we're finishing this week in profit. So there's no reason for us to do anything that's crazy on today. Patience is key here, though. Patience is key. What accounts are we trading? Wow, look at that push this morning. The market is just ripping to the upside. Let's take a look at Bitcoin while we're sitting here. Somebody was telling me that Bitcoin was going to crack 70K. I don't know how sure they should be about that Bitcoin cracking 70K. I know some people call Bitcoin shitcoin, I just heard, but why is that? Look at Weeble, man. See Weeble pulling back slightly a little bit. I think it's okay that this is happening. We're still not going to FOMO into it at all, period. Okay, so let me share with you all what I was thinking. The market is pulling itself back in here. If we get some big displacement here, that may be that manipulated move to put us in for shorts. Just exercising some patience here. If I could drop down to the 2 minute, you'll be able to see exactly what paying attention to. Just reacting off of this fair value gap that's here. Just patience here. Nothing really truly happened on NQ. We see buyers step back in. So you see why we didn't react with the market pulling itself back right here off of this fair value gap. We really didn't react too much to that at all. But I think we might be getting a chance to short here. Only reason though, I don't want to be first. I want us to be able to break and have full displacement below this level before we start engaging. Did you see why we didn't take that trade and react off of that? Look at that reaction. That's why we didn't engage. If you did not engage, give yourself a pat on the back. Because you would have got literally taken out of the trade. Off of that reaction of that fair value gap, if you was thinking that that would have been something good to react off of, you were sadly mistaken. That's why we waited. We knew we was in this bullish order block here. Price pulled itself back. That was an opportunity for you to get caught up thinking, hey, shorts are coming in right now. Let me go ahead enter in, and you would have got probably stopped out, wicked out of the trade, or you're sitting in drawdown right now, and you perhaps need to close the trade and preserve capital and sit on the sidelines and wait. We got about 10 minutes until 10 o'clock. It is not 10 o'clock yet, so still showing ourselves strong here. Interesting to what we see right now currently. So it's a hand clap for not engaging as of yet, being patient and waiting on our high probability setup. This has formed somewhat of a double top when I drop down to lower time frames. You see that right there? And we see the market pulling itself back here. We still don't want to engage as of yet. Good thing come to those who are patient, right? So we're just patiently waiting on our setup to happen. Let's take a look at gold while we're sitting here. These gold longs would have been beautiful to take right at market open. But I think it's the same thing though. I think it's the same thing for everything. Same thing for gold, same thing for silver. Heavy area of rejection of what we're approaching within silver. If ES decides to continue to push itself, we're still going to be able to do the same exact thing of what we did the very first time. And that's just be patient. Yeah, we just going to be patient. Wait on the setup to come. So I know sometimes you can feel like you're FOMOing in and you're missing out on opportunities, but hey, that doesn't mean too much of anything. When the market presents us with opportunities each and every day. There's parts of me that feel as though this is that manipulation. Okay. There's displacement like I like to see. Let's be patient. We're 5 minutes away from 10 o'clock happening. Did not get candle closure like how we wanted below this level. Buyers step right back in. So let's see what we get here though. Something definitely close for us to be able to keep our eyes on. And if you notice, the candle did not close either above this level. So that's something too that I want to be able to keep my eyes on as well. We're starting to consolidate a little bit into this range. We'll change the color of this. Just consolidating a little bit, going sideways, but I think we're gearing up for a high probability setup. Still waiting, haven't traded above this range or broken out of this range as of yet. We're having a break of structure happening and taking place a little bit, but we pulled ourselves back. So it's not true confirmation on that, with a slight pullback. Still trading within this range. This is where you don't want to be into the market as of yet. I'm cool to not be having anything at risk. It is now 10 o'clock. See if we're able to get that reversal swing. But before we can engage into any shorts, I have to see a strong displacement candle to be able to give me that. A strong displacement candle with a fair value gap. We have to get displacement below this level and start closing candles below this level before we take any shorts and engage, because that gives us better confirmation. Seeing ourselves trying to break out of this range here for continuation. So we're just going to be a little bit more patient. Haven't fully broken out of that range. We set some relative equal highs here at this level. If you're wondering what we were talking about, we're talking about here. Got relative equal highs. That's there. So we're having a breaking structure happening and taking place. I'll go ahead and move this out the way. Let's be patient. So what we see is the market reversing right here from 76.05. Can we get displacement below our level of 75.98? That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. 75.98 to get displacement below that level. If we could get displacement below that level, then we'll be able to look for shorts. To me, I think this is the manipulated move for today. If the market just continues to rip and go on without us, then hey, I'm okay with walking away. I'm okay with just walking away. It's Friday, y'all. It's just 10:05. So after this break of structure, what we had here, we had the market starts to pull itself back from breaking structure here. Let's see if we can get some full displacement and start trading where our key level is. Therefore, we could enter into some shorts maybe. I'm still bearish on today. Again, I still don't believe that we're going to previous month high. I just don't believe that. I can't see that happening. I may be wrong, but I just can't see that happening. Let's see if we can break. There we go. Let's see if we could get some candle closure below this level. I want to see full displacement though. We haven't yet. Notice we're still within this range, and every time price pull here, buyers are stepping in once it comes to our key level. If we can break that, I think we're in.
Order filled.
We're in for shorts right here. Let's see how this pan itself out for us. We'll put our stop above this high. We should have waited for closure. I think what did it for me was trying to enter in at the 2 minute, like on the 2 minute fair value gap. And we never did get the closure of what I actually wanted. I was a little bit early than what I wanted to be. And I think I should have just waited for that closure. Although we didn't get it, I'm still going to be a little bit patient to see what happens here. Relative equal highs here on the 15 minute. We have about a minute and 35 seconds until this candle closes here. Some parts of me tell me that we were too early because we did not get the displacement below that level of what we wanted. But I also do not want to close out on the trade either as well. I had to charge my phone for a second. Oh, Chad, I got some great news on yesterday. And I want to reveal it to you all. But I just want to be a little bit more patient before I start to reveal it. And it's more so it's very family oriented. Okay, it's very family oriented, and it's something that I just can't help but just sit here and smile about. So I'm not going to say anything as of yet. I'm still going to exercise some a little bit of just holding it in just a little bit. Let's be patient here as the market starts to reverse maybe. You see how price pulled all the way down like that? We just haven't gotten the closure below our level of what we want. We got about 7 seconds until the 2-minute candle closes. A new 15-minute candle just opened. And it's looking like we're getting some pressure to the downside here, which we do like. So let's just be a little bit patient here. See the market's pushing itself back up. Can the sell pressure be strong enough to just go ahead and start pushing us down off of this move, this manipulated move of what we had here? So it's just a matter of us being patient enough to see how this plays itself out. We did get closure below our key level though. If I drop down to, let's see. Look at how we traded right back into this range. We got the closure of what we wanted here, but market just reversed right back into this range. We have relative equal highs here with these two candles breaking that. sorry, chat. We're just extremely focused here. Okay, let's see if we can get some. Beautiful. This is what we like to see. We're just a little bit focused here. Y'all see how the market is just toying with us right now currently? But it's okay. seeing the market starting to shift in our favor a little bit. Let's see if we can start getting some downward momentum here. Let's see if we could get some downward pressure from the sellers here. The bulls are trying to hold on strong. They're trying to hold on strong. We have about 2 minutes until this 15-minute candle closes here. It's looking like we're reversing right back up.
Stop filled.
Oh wow, we got stopped out? Okay, we got stopped out. Let's wait and see if we can get ourselves back into the trade here. But I mean, with what I'm sitting here saying is with the downward pressure it is of what we had, it dropped down to a lower time frame, something like the 2 minute. That downward pressure of what we were having here, just, I don't know. I have no idea why the market wanted to go back and retest that area. So as of right now, we're just going to be a little bit patient to see if we can get ourselves a re-entry back into this trade again. I just don't like how we traded right back up, right? We should have kept our initial stop where we had it, but it's okay. Let's see if we get another opportunity here.
Order filled. ES is not delivering how we wanted to on today.
This may be seek and destroy choppy fessy. Chop day. We may just have to be strong here. We are in consolidation. It is 10:30. I just don't like the fact that what we wanted just did not come in as of yet. I don't know why price action is, choosing to do differently amongst the day. This isn't very nice. This is definitely not what we wanted. There we go. Beautiful. Wow. Beautiful. Here, let's take off. Put ourselves in profit.
Order filled.
Wow. Look at that.
Order filled.
We're going to leave just 3 out here. Beautiful. Wow. Wow. Did you all see that? Did you see that? That was insane. That was insane. Wow. When I say shorts came in, look, we're finna take more off our position here. Let's go ahead and just take 2 off our position. Well, we'll leave 3. Buyer stepped in and pushed that back up to midnight open. We're just gonna hang on. But wow, where did that come from? That was insane. We have sell side here at 75.30. We do have our runners running just a little bit above midnight open. In the event it reverses itself all the way back. Wow. Way to lock in profits right there immediately. To put us up on the day. I mean, it immediately went into a deeper discount array. I just want to let my runner run. Let's take a look at it on the 5 minute. Okay, let's just keep pushing down and we're going to trail this. Wow. We're trading into this fair value gap here. We can possibly invert this fair value gap. %50 here and start back trading lower. I said that today was going to be one of those type of days where price action is just if price were to come above this, we'll take off too. That way we still secure profits, and then we'll have a runner in the event it reverses. And if it reverses, we'll continue to add to our position, headed back to the downside. But wow.
Stop filled.
Wow. That was insane. Let's go here. To our break even. We're at our break-even mark. In the event that this trade wants to reverse down, we will add to our positions if the opportunity gives us to add to our position. But that was insane how that came in so quick. So let's just wait and see what happens. We're just gonna hang on to that runner though. What I want to see is, let's just drop to the 1 minute. This is why it pays to be in the market. How good were we to be able to pull that back off after being wicked out of our the first time, right? We got wicked out the first time, came right back into it and was like, nah, you're not getting us again. No. We're right here into this fair value gap. Here, if I could change the color here. We're just trading within this area right here. I know a lot of people feelings got hurt who got wicked out of the trade, and then that big move happened. Oh man, I already know. That was beautiful though. You have to go back and see the replay on that. My reaction was crazy insane when we got that big move from all this accumulation here. We got wicked out of the trade the very first time, but we entered right back in before the big move happened down, and we scaled out of our position. We was able to secure 1,600 in profit, and we left a runner right here in the event price decides to come back to our break-even mark. But right now it has not came back to our break-even, and we're just going to continue on back down to the downside. If we're able to add to our positions, we will scale and add into our positions even more. But as of right now, we're just going to allow this runner to be able to run and do its thing. But that was a beautiful trade. That's what I mean when I say, hey, you know, hang in there. Although the trade don't pan itself out how you want it to, in which I still think, man, we could come out and take out sell side and draw to an equilibrium here on the 15-minute. So if I could go to a higher time frame, like the 15-minute time frame, this is what I mean when I say that. Look at the wick that came all the way down to here. Let's spread this out. Look at the wick that formed that came all the way down to here, right? We was calling for sell side on the distribution move anyway, but the wick came all the way down here. Immediately, buyers started to step in once we hit into a discount array, and that's when I started to scale quickly out of our position. But look at the liquidity of what we had that was marked here as a target point for us to be able to pull and draw to. But what the market did was come to here. So if we could set a horizontal array right here was where price came to. And that was literally, look at where our entry was on yesterday. Price came and pulled all the way back to that starting point, pushed all the way back up from there. That was interesting. What was the reason for it? I have no idea, but we're just gonna hang on to and see. But I can't wait to go back and watch that replay when we repost this replay. That was a crazy move that just happened. Those of you who tuning in and watching, listen, go ahead. There's some things that I need you to do. First off, subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button. Once you subscribe and hit the like button, I want you to go ahead and grab our macro newsletter for the week. If you grab our macro newsletter for the week, you will be well ahead of most traders in the game. You'll be well ahead of most traders in the game if you grab that. It'll help you set your bias, your weekly bias, your daily bias, and you will have a true understanding of what to look for within correlation to be able to help you with your trades, whether that's stocks, indices, bonds. It's looking like we're getting ready to be stopped out here. Price is hitting our break-even point. So those are a few things it is that I would want you to go and do. And within doing so, it's just going to put you light years above everyone else. And I'd rather be ahead of the game than be behind in the game. So with our runner still running, we're up 1,500 on the day. That's why I said, man, this was going to be, I knew the week was going to finish out strong. I knew it was going to finish out strong. So Let's see if we can get price to just go ahead and flush down. Market makers, go ahead and just flush the market again. If the market makers go ahead and decide to flush the market again, that lets me know when we was talking about this, getting ready to come up on Tuesday, the ultimate market mover, the Fed's last full inflation read prior to the July FOMC meeting, expect massive volatility injections across ES, NQ, and oil. This is why I said it's important to be able to get our newsletter. If you sign up for the newsletter, you're going to be able to get this information here to be able to help propel you into a whole different level of trading. A whole different level of trading. You got to understand macroeconomics. Especially when you're trading futures too as well. Like when you're trading futures, you want to understand macroeconomics, because although you're looking at things from a technical standpoint on your technical analysis, but your fundamental analysis plays a heavy part too as well. But not only your fundamental analysis, but also your analysis with the overall market. The overall market. This helps you with stocks, futures. I wouldn't say so much crypto because crypto, people say crypto run off of news, but I swear some of the news it is that crypto be running off of, that people be posting, and some formidable sites that you would think have great credibility still be posting crap like that, you know, that doesn't make sense. Like I saw a broker post something about Bitcoin when Bitcoin just had this small rally, right, of what it had. And they were posting about Bitcoin saying, oh, it's because they were saying something about gas prices was the reason as to why Bitcoin was suffering the way that it was. And I'm like, what? Gas prices has nothing to do with this at all, period. All of this ties to, everything goes back to this. Look at that. You see this big move of what happened on the dollar? We went over this morning. Look, for those of you who are just now joining, let me show you. So last night I posted on my Twitter account where I was sharing with us what was going on with the DXY and why we needed to pay close attention to it. The DXY had lost a strong level of support last night, right? And it was trading down to previous week low until buyers stepped in and put it all the way back into a strong support level here, indicating that the dollar was going to be very strong. Well, if the dollar was going to be strong and push higher, what did we know to do? Go into our indices and get ready to look for what? Shorts. Because we just knew shorts was coming in. We just had to be patient enough to wait for the setup. And I think that move right there, when you go back and you look at the dollar and you see how it pushed itself up and had a little bit of a drawback, right? That's your telltale sign of they're coupled.
Stop field.
We got stopped out right here. We're done for today. That was beautiful. On today, we hit our break-even point. So with price pulling back in, we're up $1,477.55 on the day. Great week in profits this week. Well over, let's see, pull up our total profits. Total profits is well over $5,072.50. So it was a pretty good week. Our win percentage on trades is at 87.5% on trades. 87.5%. Our longest trade was on yesterday. Catching this move here on yesterday was our longest trade, but it was also our biggest trade of the week. That was right here. And so kudos, man. Kudos to you all. I hope you have learned something on today. Those of you who were with me, who traded with me on today, hope you was able to learn something, how to be able to manage your risk properly, how to be able to understand your initial bias. If you go back and you look at what our bias was from this morning, you would literally see that we wanted this move to happen here, and it happened. It came in quicker than what we thought it would, right? We wasn't expecting the big move, this big wick to happen the way that it did, but it happened. And it's good to be in position when those things like that happen and take place, even after we got wicked out of the trade. So that's something to think about, right? Like, we got wicked out of the trade. We came right back into the trade. See, this is where we got wicked out of the trade here. So we shorted here. We shorted here. And we got wicked out here, right? But we knew the move was coming. We knew it was coming. We just had to have the testicular fortitude to be able to hop right back in, and we re-entered into the trade here. Same amount of leverage. And once we entered back in, boom, we got exactly what we wanted immediately. And that right there is the separation between managing risk properly, because we did not lose much on that trade. We did not lose much on that trade at all. We probably lost like what? It was like $350. So we went down $350 on the day. So that means we could have been well over two grand today had we would have just closed out the position fully without leaving that runner to be taken out at break even. But to me, that shows great risk management, preserving capital, not FOMOing into the manipulated move of what happened this morning, right? When the market started pushing itself up this morning, we didn't FOMO into the trade at all, period. We continued to hold on to our initial bias, and it paid itself off in the end. It paid itself off in the end. I am interested to seeing how the rest of this trade plays itself out. But we got that move of what we wanted, man. So it's all good. If you have any questions, hit me up.
What's going on, Juco?
Follow me on TikTok at New Level Traders. Follow me on Twitter, which is now known as X, at New Level Traders. And I'll see y'all on the next one.